Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome into another round of the Apex Motor Club MX-5 Sim Racing League. Tonight we're coming at you live from the virtual legendary circuit Zolder. Not the usual track. We're taking the alternate layout here tonight. It's a technical, fast, and unforgiving track that is it's bound to bring some intense wheel-to-wheel action here. Welcome in, race fans. My name is Sean Stam here live on Stam Studio Network as we get live to virtual trackside action. We got qualifying just finishing up here. Lucas Barnett's, Nico Colby, Brennan Myers fastest so far here. We're gonna see some elbows out here tonight for this 35-minute race, as well as that competition caution just halfway through. Welcome in here to Circuit Zolder, the alternate layout, as this is a 10-turn, 2.5-mile alternates layout from what we are used to. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers here, so welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate each and every single one of you joining in, as this is the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. I'll be actually live up there, flying in Friday and being up there Saturday this weekend and next weekend, I do believe, for Oktoberfest and for the season opener for some real racing action. But back into the sim racing world, we're in Belgium here tonight for the 2.4 mile 2.4 mile speedway, you can call it here. We're sitting at an altitude of about 132 feet. There you see, it's going to be a tough, technical, tricky track, especially with those tough, tight technical chicanes. We don't only have one, we don't only have two. We got about 3 to 4 of those tough technical chicanes. They're about turns 5 and 6, and then heading up to 6, 7. Oh, Nico, watch out there. I still don't get it. And then, of course, the last turn of the track, it's kind of a longer chicane. I believe that is out of turns 9 and 10. All right, we're going to take a look at our starting grid here tonight, brought to you by Cotton Bowl Speedway, right out there outside of Austin, Texas. Just now finishing up their regular race, or their season as it stands there. We're gonna be a little bit in the off season as things continue to cool off down here in Austin, Texas, but continuing to talk about some desert racing here. Most of these drivers do compete in the real life Apex Motor Club. Lucas Barnett slaps it on the pole. Nico Colby right beside him, excuse me. Second row belonging to Brennan Myers, Joey Rainey. Joey Rainey's back here with us this week. Marvin Samayoa, Brandon Birch, Jake Steckler, Joe Rainey, the father of Joey. He starts just a row back from his son, Slater Colby, Jeffrey Erickson, Diego, as well as Michael Tenegretta. And then we have, just after those drivers, it's going to be Justin Lowe, Eloy Alvarez, and Warren Johnson to round out our 15, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm not going to count them all, but our 15 driver grid here tonight. Matter of fact, Warren is saying that's great timing of it there. Warren's saying he's not going to end up making it here tonight, so I think we'll end up hearing here from Warren up here in the booth as we're about ready to get these start lights out here tonight. All right, just waiting on Lucas Barnett, our pole sitter, as well as Diego to make their way down and into the starting grid here tonight. But in just a few moments' time, I believe we'll have Warren Johnson up here in the broadcast booth. Here comes Lucas Barnett. Diego is in. Just waiting on one more driver here as these MX-5s are ready to roll. All right, it's almost lights out. There you see him on the top of your screen. It's 5, and wait for it. Away we go with Lucas Barnett, Nico Colby, Brennan Myers heading them off down there into turn number 1. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourself a drink. Grab yourself a salty snack of choice here, because we are already too wide here at Circuit Zolder, the alternate layout. It's now starting to look single file for our front 4 runners. Now too wide for the race lead. Don't look now, but it's Nico Colby and the black and gold vehicle buyers.com machine to the race lead. Door quarter not quite clear. Here comes that Burger King machine. He's got that inside line throughout this first sort of chicane here, throughout a tough technical alternate layout. It looks like Lucas Barnett back out to the race lead where he started this race. Joey Rainey still right up there with them. About these drivers from the first through 6th places continuing to run where they started this race. It's not only to about 7th and 8th where you start to look at Jeffrey Erickson. I believe that's a newer driver here tonight in the MX-5 Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. He's in that 223 right behind Joe Rainey, that Rainey Homes Racing Mazda MX-5. How about Joe Rainey already gained a spot since the start of the races? There, no, I called him. I was calling him earlier on in the race. Warren Johnson down, out and around, at least for the moment. We do, of course, have that competition caution halfway through the race. Back up here to the front, though, it's still continuing to look like Lucas Barnett, Nico Colby, as well as Brennan Myers, our front 3 drivers, fastest drivers in practice. Joey Rainey, Marvin Samayoa, Brandon Birch, as well as Joe Rainey rounding out that top 4th through 7th position. There's Jeffrey Erickson, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but down there at the bottom left of your screen, I believe that's the Lebanon flag. The one and only driver who's not from the U.S. here tonight, that JER 223 machine. How about him slice and dice and working his way up and through the pack? He's gained 2 spots since the drop of the green. Let's hop on board with him here and see kind of what it looks like there behind the wheel.
What a great view this is, Sean.
There's Warren. How's it going, Warren? And hopefully I didn't distract you, but we saw the slight slip and slide there for you.
Yeah, this track sucks. I'm not racing here. But no. I'm excited to watch these guys race as always, and it's going to be a good one for sure.
So we're on board here with Jeffrey Erickson looking down the inside here to make a move over Joe Rainey. Hey, how about that? That's got to be a penalty.
That's got to be a penalty. 4-wheel. He's not getting the flag.
Yeah, I'm seeing only yellow instead of black there. And back up here real quick to the race lead here. Nico Colby says, I've had enough waiting around. He's going to take away the race lead over Lucas Barnett. And Brennan Myers, with even a slight bit of a battle up here up front, he's continuing to work his way up to the race lead. Joey Rainey right up there with that battle as well.
I believe that yellow does mean like a slowdown, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. He's dropped 2 3 positions now. So yeah, now it just went away. So it must have been the slowdown. He was bleeding off. Nico Colby took that lead away from Lucas. That was a good little move. He checked up in that final chicane, or in that not final turn, but one of those last turns. He kind of bunched the leaders up a little bit, so that caught them off guard. Diego Valderrama bringing up the back there. I wonder what happened to those guys. Must have spun 18 and 19 seconds back. Nico Colby continues his lead, 0.3 ahead of Lucas, and then Brennan Myers. That's an unusual face. I haven't seen him in one of these races before, rounding out the podium spot.
Yeah, well said there. That's a newer face in a newer place, working that chicane as we have side by side for the race lead. He's got some chrome and some matte starting to approach their rear bumpers as Nico Colby and Lucas Barnett continue to run that side by side. It's the Burger King machine back to the race lead. Nico Colby, he's not only going to school in real life here, but he's going to school tonight, trying to find out where he can maybe possibly carry a little bit more braking speed, or possibly corner exit speed as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at these liveries. I'm looking at that livery from Nico's not going to go for it. Looking at that livery from Brennan, and those are nice too, like matte black and gold foil machines there. That's a good looking livery from Nico and Brennan there.
Looking at Joey Rainey as well, who starts doing that battle. Sorry, I'm just, I get excited when I see another Stam Studio Network affiliated paint, and it's that Rainey Ohms Racing Machine. Joey Rainey, we believe we might have to keep an eye on here tonight, as well as this battle for the race lead.
Side by side again into turn 1. Lucas has got the better line through there. Definitely don't want to be too wide, and now Nico's going to have a preferred line into this turn. Oh, look at Brennan sending up the middle of the 2 leaders. That was a crazy move. He took P2 away from Lucas. That was an awesome stand right there. That was a great move.
I didn't think these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars, let alone had the downforce, that had enough power underneath the engines to make a move like that. Brandon Myers saying, oh, no, sorry, Bobcat Tail, taking it away, P2, as these drivers continue to put laps down here, getting a little bit closer to that competition caution. Oh, Nico Colby cuts the track.
He took the lead. Where did that? Nico got a slowdown for that.
Oh, yep, definitely.
He put 4 wheels on that curb. Yeah, he can see the yellow flag. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that. I wonder where he took the lead. We didn't even see it. We was behind a tree or something. That was a crazy Brennan out of nowhere. Who is this guy?
Brennan Myers, this is when he was looking down the inside. It was the 3-wide move down there in the middle, kind of set it up. He got it past at least the Burger King machine of Lucas Barnett, and then he started to set up the pass over Nico Colby. Back to live racing action, though. It's still side by side. It's Nico Colby. Wait for it here. And now he goes, oh, hang on. Wait for it. Now we're back live. Now we're back side by side.
Oh, they're still side by side. I'm looking through these menus here. No, you're good. Wow, look at this. It's 4. They could go 4 wide here down the main straightaway into turn 1. It was looking like. Oh my goodness. 2 wide, 2 by 2 down through P6. It was 2 by 2 into P1 through 1 through 6. That was crazy. They're still side by side going into turn 2 here, the long sweeping right-hand turn.
Starting to see these brake rotors glow here, Mr. Warren Johnson. I know you got quite a few laps with these Mazda MX-5s, still fighting for the lead. You got to be careful pushing these cars early on in one of these stints. Tires are going to be hot, brakes are going to be hot, battles are still hot for the race lead. Now it's dropped back to P2.
Side by side again, Nico and Joey Rainey there. Yeah, Lucas back up in the front. Yeah, you know, these cars, it's really only the first 2 laps or so. Ooh, Joey got a bad run later. But no, these cars are pretty sketchy in the first lap and a half. Ooh, that's not a spot you want to go too wide through. That was quite the move from Joseph Rainey there, Joey Rainey. That's Joe Rainey's son, if you didn't know. But Marvin Samoya's got a slow down, and as well as Eloy. Let's see if he took those away. Maybe they're clearing the penalties. I'm not sure. But what crazy rate. Brennan's moved back to P5. He must have been pushing that car a little too hard. He gets a little loose there. He's going to lose another spot down this straightaway.
Man, I saw Brandon Birch's front rotors there glowing. You could almost cook a steak on those front rotors. Oh, contacts there, I believe, heading into this left-hander. It's going to send Brandon Myers almost getting his pilot's license.
Oh, all the way to the back for Brennan. Brennan and Brandon. That was a little, hey, I'm here, buddy. Get out of my way, I think, from Brandon. I don't know. We have to take a look at that. We got to go back and see what they were just side by side, and they're just battling for that space.
We saw the contact start to ensue, and I think his right tires are already off the track heading into the chicane.
Yeah, it's just never going to happen. You can't go too wide through there. It just doesn't work. So that's kind of like a, hey, you need to realize that type of tap. So, unfortunately for Brennan Myers there. Back to, I think, P9. Yeah, P9.
Sorry,
Nico Colby gets another slowdown.
We'll go, back to the race lead this time. And Lucas Barnett, he's looking at it, but it's Joey Rainey. And like you said, Nico Colby still trying to fight his way back from that slowdown. He almost got another one there. Oh, gravel all over the racetrack. Look at, looks like Joey Rainey and Nico Colby both got a little loose as a goose, but able to get it right back underneath them. Here's Nico Colby trying to set up a pass here down this long back straightaway. He's going to think better of it.
Yeah, that's the best place to make a move right there. Marvin really likes that. We were practicing. Marvin really likes that corner to make a move there. So watch moves from Marvin. If he gets close to Nico, you know he's going to send it on that turn.
Now, as we crest our way ever so closer to this competition caution, I mean, do you think that any tire conservation is going to be any name of the game here tonight, or is it really just kind of where you're running and where you're going to restart?
Where you're running, this track's not really bad on tires, fortunately. So at least from what I gathered last night in the testing sessions, it's not a super tire heavy track. So the conservation is minimal. You don't need to be worrying about that. I think just consistent laps, avoiding incidents. That's the name of the game tonight.
Looking like it's continuing to be the name of the game. Is still kind of it's top 3 single file for the moment, but don't look now. It's only Nico Colby who's just down 1/10 of a second. They're from Joey Rainey. Little Stam Studio Network affiliation for both these drivers here for second and third. That's the 30 and the number 16, Marvin Samayoa. Like you've mentioned here, he's continuing to show quite a bit of pace. If matter of fact, if we compare the last lap times here between the two drivers, it's been back and forth, but lap 2, 3, and 4, Samayoa, he was turning up the heat.
Absolutely, and now he's in that draft. He's going to catch right up to this pack. And just watch the move from him on this turn coming up right here. This is where Marvin likes to send it. So, ooh, Nico gets on the inside of Joseph. Joey got a little wide there. He overcooked the braking zone, it looked like, and Nico took advantage of that quickly.
So Lucas Barnett still out here leading laps at Circuit Zolder, the alternate layouts, this 10-turn, 2.5-mile layout. Nico Colby, I mean, he's been fighting for his right to party all of tonight, continuing to look 3 minutes up until that competition caution. Race leader blinks out, but no harm, no foul. Front brake rotors aglow. Continuing, I mean, lap after lap for Joey Rainey. He's pushing that Mazda MX-5. Randy Ohm's racing machine looks fast tonight, continuing to knock on that rear bumper of Nico Colby.
Brandon Birch is in P4 now, by the way. He was, what, P7? Now he's worked his way back to P4. He had the pace all practice tonight, all the qualifying. This is the dark horse. Again, I'm picking him for the podium. He might even pull out a win here, but I think Joey and Lucas, they're looking pretty strong. It might be hard for Lucas to give up that lead. But I'm getting him on the podium. That's my prediction for the race. And for the last couple races, I've been pretty good at my predictions. So Nico Colby taking a peek, is keeping it together there. Marvin, I don't know what happened to Marvin, what allowed Brandon to get around him. But Brandon sure did. Now he's hunting down those podium spots. And you know, Brandon, like I've said, he's been doing real good recently, and he's on fire. So keep an eye out here. There's another side-by-side for the lead. Nico sending that move down. That's the action point for this track. A little better run for Lucas out of that. Let's see if they try to make it go side-by-side through this. You can almost hit this flat. Oh, we're slowing her down. Whoa, and slowing down. I didn't know that was going on.
No, it just happened just as you said it, so no harm, no foul there. Perfectly timed, too, is that'll pretty much shorten it up as right before the pit road starts.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm sure Nico is frustrated. He wanted to get around him there, guaranteed. You hear that Porsche safety car?
Yeah, that thing really.
That thing was pretty loud.
So that's pretty big. Real quick, getting back to the vehiclebuyers.com number 36 Mazda MX-5 Cup car of Brandon Birch. We were talking about him earlier on. I mean, he's, like you said, Warren, he's really lit up here in these, at least last week. We've got to remember, he came away with the race win from Circuit D Lebanon on P2, of course, Nico Colby and then Lucas Barnett. But that was a lot of fun to watch. If you hadn't caught that broadcast, I guess I spoiled it already, but Brandon Birch, it was a much-deserved, finally checkered flag out there for him. Warren, I think he's got a chance to go back-to-back.
Absolutely. He's got, well, he already did. He did back-to-back in my league and this league.
Oh, that's right.
He won Watkins Glen and the Audi 90 GTOs, and then came back to the Miatas and smoked the field at Lebanon. I think he led every single lap. uncatchable. So yeah, he's this restart is definitely helping him. He's excited right now.
Well, appreciate everybody joining in here live on Sam Studio Network. We're going to slow and woe down this field, gets at least a pace lap in. Thank you each and all joining in from the bottom of my heart for this Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. It's not only all sim racing. I'm actually going to be flying out there this weekend as well as next weekend for some Oktoberfest into the season opener. So, man, I can't wait to bring you some race highlights and some driver interviews and such there. But until then, Warren, thank you so much for joining up here in the booth. It's been a great season. Do you have anything for the race fans before we kick this off to a quick break up here on SSN?
Stay tuned. That's all I'll say.
Hey, there it is. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back here with you. Thank you, each and every single one of you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, sim racing fans, back here to Circuit Zolder here for the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing Mazda MX-5 Series. Lucas Barnett still with the race lead. Nico Colby, Joey Rainey, Brandon Birch, Slater Colby, as well as Marvin Samayo are rounding out that top 5. Stick in here right with us. We got the lights out on the iRacing safety pace car. Warren, you've been here, you're a driver here for this very series as well as have your own league. What are we gonna have to look out here, not only out here up in the broadcast booth, but behind the wheel from one of these Mazda MX-5 Cup cars on this race restart?
Let's do another pan out shot. I want to see if they're side by side. I think they're too wide for the restart. Yeah, they're gonna be. It looks like they're gonna be too wide.
That's a story changer.
Yeah. Look for turn 1, and then let's see how these guys keep it together throughout the lap. But I'm telling you, that third to last turn, whatever number that is, that 90-degree right-hander is the turn. That is the action turn. That's where all the moves are made. Anything else is really just kind of capitalizing on mistakes from any of the other drivers. So let's see if these tire temps cool down enough to cause some mistakes. I'm sure they did. These cars, you know, when you drive them, when you're on them heavy like this. But again, like I said earlier, this track is really not that bad on the tires, so they should be fine. But some tracks are brutal on the restarts, so hopefully that's not the case. But we'll get a little bit more action if it is. So stay tuned for that. That's the action turn right there where they just came out. They come onto this kind of like little S section onto this fake kind of straightaway. It just, you know, you turn in. It's coming to the pit lane here on the right. The Porsche safety car is going to pull off. And then who is that? Lucas is going to set the pace. It's on him. So we'll see when he takes off. Listen for the engines. There he goes. And we're green flag racing here at Circuit Zolder. Wow, Lucas got a crazy start and he earned it. Oh, getting a little crazy there with Nico and Marvin. Or no, that's Joseph. Joey Rainey going into turn 1. Oh, they kept it clean. They got all sorted out there. No one's wrecking on turn 1. That's always a good sign, especially after the restart. You don't want to be doing that. Coming into turn 2, everyone's clean again. Watch. Look at Brandon. Where's he at? P4 still. He's going to be looking for that move. We got a little bit of side-by-side action there with Brennan. And who is that? Jake Steckler, I believe. They're still side-by-side coming into this turn. Jake on the curb just a little bit. Ooh, a couple cars going into the dirt there, but no harm, no fouls. They're going to come into this really nasty chicane here. Side-by-side again for Brennan and Jake. This chicane is difficult. You don't want to be side by side here. That's going to be a slowdown for Jake. Steckler goes around the Warren Tater curse. You do not want to be going side by side there. You know, he is just devastated right now. That was unlucky for him. Another incident involving Brennan. Like, Nico Colby's right on the bumper of Joey. He's able to get around from P2 there. Brandon looks like he stayed patient. He's trying to preserve his race. You know, he's got Marvin sniffing. Look, watch this. I want to see if Marvin
goes. He turned him! He got into the back of our race leader!
And Nico Colby's back in the lead. No way. Down, down, down the order goes. Oh my goodness.
Say goodbye to...
I can't believe it. Lucas went all the way down, man. That is no good. That totally changes everything. Look at Brandon Birch going for the race lead. We told you he'd be there. He won for Brandon Birch in a turn 1. Come on now, baby. Let's go.
Brandon Birch, that vehiclebuyers.com machine to the race lead. It's side by side for third and fourth on back, but it's two teammates, you could call them here. They're looking like teammates. They're going to make the dream work happen here tonight as Nico Colby almost cinched Brandon Birch. They're a little bit too deep. Here in a few moments time after this battle dies down, we'll take a quick look at that race replay, but it's Lucas Barnett's fastest driver falls back to P9. Here comes Nico Colby trying to look for this race lead after the 1 out of 1,000 chicanes out here from Circus Zolder.
Nico got a little X there again. I don't know if that's a slowdown or an X. It looks like it's must have been an X. It didn't go away. It didn't take that long. But look, I can't believe what we're watching right now. Brandon Birch is just on fire.
You called it.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I said podium. I should have called the win. I shouldn't have been a bitch. I should have just called the win. Nico Colby's going to look. Yeah, he's going to look at his wheel. I'm telling you, it's the action corner. We're going to see what Nico's able to do here. Coming to this third to last corner. Brandon's going to keep it nice on the outside. He's going to have a preferred line going down this straight. It's a little S section. Nico tucks right back in the... Phenomenal driving from Brandon Birch. Absolutely phenomenal. Slater Colby's back up there.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't look now.
Where did he come from? You know, he ain't gonna, oh, he gets a little bit into the dirt there. Marvin's gonna get around him easily. But look for this driver. You know, he was already up there. Brendan Myers got a black flag, it looks like. Oh, Nico.
Oh, hang on to her.
It almost put him in the wall. Slater Colby to the lead. Brandon Birch to P5. What is going on here tonight? Turn 1 is unbelievable right now. Nico's going. These two are going to race each other hard. They're not going to give each other an inch at all. Marvin Samayoa is right there in P3 lurking. Brandon's still there in P4 despite getting a little bump from his compadre Nico. Sure, he's not too happy with him there. We're gonna see it. Oh, the Constantine effect. Around goes Marvin, Joey, Joe. Oh my goodness, Joey and Marvin. All the fast drivers are wrecking. What? That was a Constantina effect. It was like a thing of billiards right there. You look at them; they just go one right after another, right into the back of each other. Slater and Nico are banging. This is a crazy race. What are we looking at? Brandon's right back there for P3.
We don't have time to look at. We have 4 to 5 replays queued up here, and we still don't have time because. Okay,
Brandon's going for it. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say get the trees out the dang way here because Brandon Birch, he's a man on a mission. I was gonna say Slater Colby after what happened to him earlier on in the race. Look for him to send it a little deep. He did. He went to the race lead, but now it's Nico Colby back to the point out here in Circus Zolder.
This is unbelievable racing here. What are we witnessing? I'm so glad I went to booth. I'm so glad. Nico kind of breaks the toe from his brother Slater, his older brother Slater. What is he tapping the brakes for? He must have got a slowdown. Slater's gonna send it up the inside. They're gonna make contact coming out of turn 1 as they're bumping and banging into turn 2. Look who's back. It's Brendan. Brendan Myers is banging back to P4. He's right back in this race. What is going on? He's side by the top 4 side by side into turn 3 and 4. Brennan's into P3. Brennan's looking to come back here after an abysmal start to the race. He's looking for the race lead. Is he going to do it? He's gonna go for it. Oh my goodness.
Oh, almost contact.
Oh.
Maybe there was a little bit. Here he comes down the inside.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go side by side.
You got
He's going for it.
You have to. Nico Colby
Nico's gonna
runs
get the
wide.
slowdown. He's gonna get the slowdown. Brennan's gonna. Yeah, look, he's gonna slow it down. Oh my goodness, what is going on? And Slater here, they're bumping and bang. Look at this, still side by Brandon Burch is in P1 again. Let's go, baby, come on.
Look at him go, go, go. Brandon Burch back to the race lead. Nico Colby having to take the slowdown. It was the Brennan and Brandon show, but now it's Brandon Myers back to P3. Brandon Burch to the race lead. He's going to have to play some defense.
Sending it.
Oh, Nico!
He didn't do it. He can't get it. He's not good. He can't do that move there. Marvin is the master of that turn. Unfortunately, he spun, but Nico has not been able to make it happen there at all today in that third, whatever turn 10, whatever that turn is.
So we're coming
super high speed.
Get the dang sign out. What is that camera shot? Thank you, iRacing. This is back across the stripe, battling for the race lead. Remember, Nico Colby last week finished P2. He wants redemption, but now there's contact back again with Brandon Myers.
Running wide. Brandon running wide. Brennan coming. Brennan's gonna mess up Nico. It's gonna happen again. This is what's been happening the whole race. Brennan comes in, messes. Not really. I don't want to say messes things up, but just totally flusters these leaders.
He's got the pace to do it.
P4. Yeah, absolutely. They're going to go side by side into the chicane again. I guarantee he's going to try to make this work again. Oh, this time Brandon's going for it. Let's see how this works. I really hope this works out for these guys. Don't wreck. Don't wreck, whatever you do.
Oh, contact's there. Brandon Burch goes wide.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Unfortunate for Brandon Burch right there. Brennan keeps making it too wide for that chicane. You just can't do that there. He's not letting anything get away. Nico Colby's going to run away with his race lead if he doesn't. He's got to catch up on that draft. Brandon Burch back to P5. Joe Rainey's in P4. That's a name we haven't mentioned tonight. Look for Joe Rainey. Let's get the old man on the podium. I'd love to see that.
I swear this is every single time that you're up here in the booth with us. And you're exactly right. Joe Rainey, he's gained 4 spots since the drop of the green flag. Final driver interview spot. It's up for grabs right now with Slater Colby. He led maybe a lap or half a lap, but it's he's continuing to play some offense there over Brandon Myers. And like you said, we're just mentioning Joe Rainey, Rainey Ohms Racing Mazda MX-5. Real racer there at the Apex Motor Club, real life out of Scottsdale. How about Joe Rainey? He's starting to look a little bit, he's starting to bring the pace there in P number 4, that 17 machine.
Who's back in P6, capitalizing on the mistakes. Lucas Barnett, waiting for these drivers to make any mistake. He's going to pounce. Brandon Burch in front of him in P5. He's waiting for the mistakes to happen, but he's got Joe Rainey that he's got to get around. And you know Joe ain't just going to let it by. He ain't going to let these guys by. He ain't letting these young rascals get around him. He's got the elbows out. Slater Colby, P3. He's going to race his brother hard, but he's got Brandon Myers, the new kid on the block, blocking him the whole lap. Brandon Myers goes wide. I wonder if that's a slowdown. Nico Colby, just a second next. Nico Colby coming out in P1, still defending. What is going on right now? Slater's still P3, Joe P4. Things are calming down a little bit. Don't go anywhere because that's going to change absolutely coming down to this last turn. Guaranteed, someone's going for it. I think it's going to be Slater. Slater's going to try to put the move on Brennan. He doesn't like what he's been doing to Nico. You know, Nico and him are rivals. I told you. What did I tell you? It looks like it's 3 wide into this action turn. What's going to happen? Brennan gets loose. Nico's out in the grass. Slater Colby to the lead of the race. Joe Rainey on the podium. Let's go, baby. Brennan P4. Lucas Barnett's back in P5. What a race. What a race, Sean.
3 wide for the race lead. We have 2,000 to 3,000 replays queued up here, but we just can't take them because Rory and I don't know if I've ever said this, but this is for once looking more action-packed than the real-life Apex Motor, or excuse me, the MX-5 series, as there was 3 wide all gone wrong.
No! Oh my God, Brandon. 3 wide into turn 1. You just can't do that. Who made it 3 wide? That's ridiculous. Oh, gutted for Brandon there.
Oh, there was
was
contact
Lucas.
once and twice there with the Burger King machine of
Lucas. Oh, Lucas just didn't brake. Lucas didn't get on the brakes. Man, Lucas is involved in a lot of incidents today. Not good. That totally takes out Brandon from the contention. Man, that was a hell of a drive from Brandon, though. Give it up for him. Making up 10 seconds is quite hard. Unless there's some major accident, but we still got the action. The action is still here. Slater Colby's battling Lucas Barnett, trying to get around Slater. Nico Colby in P2.
Lucas Barnett gets turned around. I think that was off of Slater Colby's bumper.
He's blinking, so that might have had something to do with it.
Oh, it definitely had something to do with it.
Slater Colby. Who's this guy? Jeffrey Erickson in the P4. We just don't know anything that's going on tonight. This is crazy.
Yeah, that's the driver out of Lebanon that I mentioned kind of earlier at the start of the race, but I don't think it was, if there were odds on it, it would have been in the thousands ranges. He's now side by side between Slater Colby. I mean, Warren, you don't know how a newer driver races as you race side by side with them. It's Jeffrey Erickson back to P3, final driver interview position. Wow,
that would be insane if we had a new. I mean, ooh, Joe, keep it together. They kept it together. Oh my goodness, these experienced drivers are gonna give it away to these new guys. Jeffrey Erickson could come out on the podium, but Joe Rainey's right on his tail. What's Joe Rainey gonna do? He ain't gonna let this newbie come in here and beat him. He's gonna make a move. Nah, maybe not here. Nah, too big of a gap to send it down in the chicane. As he gets a little wide, they both get a little wide. Joe is gonna go side by side into the chicane. This is the hardest chicane on the track, and he gets the pass done easily. No need to go side by side into the chicane. Slater Colby biding his time, waiting patiently. This is not the place you want to make the move. And now we get into the part of the track where you can start getting a little bit more risky. The next chicane, not as difficult. You can do the braking a little better into it. As we see, we're going to keep it together here from Jeffrey Erickson. I told you Joe wasn't going to let it happen. Jeffrey Erickson, and let's see if he pulls the move out. Let's see if the new cat can show what the old school guys are all about. Let's see. Let's see, coming into the action turn. I wish I knew the name of the turn. I wish I knew the number of the turn. Oh, no, he thinks better of it. Yeah, maybe a little intimidation factor there from Joe Rainey. He probably doesn't want to mess up these races. He's new here. He doesn't want to mess up this guy. He's been here all along. He's the founder of this sim racing league. Brennan Myers is still in the lead with Nico, only 1/10 back. Let's go to the race for the lead. Let's see what's going on up here. Brennan and Nico have been battling all race long, Sean.
And here they go once again into turn one. Very late on the brakes is Brennan Myers. Nico Colby trying to make the outside line work. Side by side. Here we go into 2 and 3. You got to keep the speed. Got to keep the momentum up here, Warren. Headed back up to you.
Nico, keep it together. Come on, kid. Come on, kid. Don't let this guy beat you. Yes, nice. Good. Later on the brakes. Let's see if he keeps it together. He does. Great racing from Nico. I'm telling you, this kid's going to be a champion one day. You're going to see him in IMSA, GT3s, the way this kid races. Let's see what Brendan. No.
Oh, Nico may have had 4 tires off there, Warren.
Did he? I didn't see that. I was looking at Brendan.
Oh, P. Diddy, may as he's not going to look down the outside.
Did he give it back? No, he obviously got the slowdown taken care of. Brendan. Oh, they keep it together. Nico's got another X. Joe Rainey's coming in for P2. Dude, Joe knows. Joe's going to give it to this.
Joe knows.
100%. Joe is not going to, he's not going to tolerate what's going on here. Yeah, look at that. He ain't giving it up. So look at him. He's trying to squeeze Joe. Joe, no, look at this shit.
Joe Rainey to the race lead as we come and approach the white flag lap. Joe Rainey shot out of the cannon, took the race lead away from Nico Colby. Brennan Myers is still lurking in P3. Slater Colby joining the battle. Here we go as we approach the white flag. The final lap here tonight. Rainey Holmes Racing Machine to the race lead.
Come on, Joe. Give it to these kids. I told you, he ain't playing with these youngsters. Get out of the way, he says. look at Brennan fighting with Slater now for P3, and Jeffrey Erickson still kind of just waiting back, waiting to see what's going on with these two. There's been a couple of incidents with Brennan here, so don't count that out. We still might have a new podium finisher here at the Apex Motor Club Sim League. Joe's taken off. He's half a second ahead of Nico. He ain't going to give it to Nico. He did no way.
Final lap here tonight, about 1.5 miles left to go for Joe Rainey, excuse me, if he can just keep this thing cool, calm, and collected. That's easier said than done, as we have about 3 sets of chicanes. Nico Colby still 2.5 tenths of a second back. It's still either one of these top 3 drivers' ball games, as here comes Jeffrey Erickson, still lurking in that P5 position. Top 5 drivers separated by 1/10 each.
Here we go, Sean. Into the action time. This is the last chance to make a move. This is the last chance. Nico's going to go for it. Of course he is. Brendan's going to go for it. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. What's going to happen? Nico Colby on the inside. Joe Rainey on the outside. Brendan trying to make it 3 wide. Don't get into Joe. He gets into Joe. He gets into Slater. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have a new podium finisher. We're going to have 2 new podium finishers. Nico's going to take the win. Jeffrey Erickson and Brennan Myers, 2 new faces on the podium tonight. Wow, Jeffrey got P2 out of all that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable race, Sean. What did we just witness?
Coming to the line to make it all official tonight, it's Nico Colby to the stripe. Another checkered flag sticker on that MX-5. Oh my, Jake Steckler. I think Brandon Birch as well is dead.
You know, as Michael Waltrip would say, have you ever?
Well, Warren, I have never. We have 2,000 to 3,000 replays to look at here tonight.
Oh my goodness, that's the most exciting race we've broadcast together, I think, Sean. And that was unbelievable.
Man, what a call here coming to the finish. It was, I believe, Nico Colby here side by side with. Well, there's the. Okay, I don't know if we go in chronological order here or what, but this was side by side for the race lead. I believe Nico Colby finally able to get that one down. I think we do. Let's start here. We have to start here all the way back with yeah. I believe it was Jake Steckler's incident and then onwards.
There's a whole. We could go another hour talking about all the incidents. I'm going to let you take them through. I'm going to make sure these guys are all good, make sure we're all situated. You take them through the race highlights.
All right, we'll do that, and then we'll be right back with you here with some driver interviews here on the Stam Studio Network. Quite a few race replays that we have to look at before these driver interviews. Here we go at the start of the second half of the race. Jake Steckler, we saw that he had that incident going into the chicane. A little bit of contact on his side, and around he went. That was the first incident there. Then we had a Michael Tenegretta spin a little bit later on in the race. The driver of the 15 machine. He's got that breast cancer awareness hot pink action happening. Ladies, if you're watching it, this is the month that you're making sure that everything is A-OK there. Looks like contact with the front of the 59 of Eloy Alvarez, but Eloy getting the spot back there. Continuing to work our way a little bit closer towards the white and checkered flags. We had another spin here with Justin Lowe a little bit earlier on in the race. A little bit of a save gone wrong there, and then we're going to get a little bit closer here to the white and checkered flag. There is what a finish it was for Nico Colby. Jeffrey Erickson as well. That was right after Jeffrey Erickson had passed what was a 3-wide battle for the race lead. Joe Rainey on the outside, unfortunately not able to make it to the final driver interview spot after Joe Rainey finishes 6th position after a little bit of a slip and slide, a little bit of a spin there. Here's another look at it. Next time we'll look at this 3-wide incident for the second place at race pace. All these brake rotors aglow here tonight as we'll cut our way down into the final driver interview position. Excuse me. We'll take a look at the Unofficial, official race results here tonight, and then make our way to the final driver interview positions for the top 3. It's Nico Colby, Jeffrey Erickson out of Lebanon, our one and only driver outside of the United States here tonight. Congratulations, Jeffrey Erickson, newer name, racing in the Mazda MX-5 Apex Motor Club Sim Racing Series with us. Brandon Myers, also a newer name. He'll finish P3. Lucas Barnett, Brandon Birch, Joey Rainey, Slater Colby, Joe Rainey, after fighting for his right to party on that last lap. He finishes P8 in that Rainey Holmes Racing machine. Marvin Samayoa, Diego Vialdemerda, as well as, I'm probably butchering that one, Michael Tenegretta, Justin Lowe, Eloy Alvarez, Jake Steckler, and Warren Johnson. Rounding out our 15 driver field here tonight, we'll make our way, mosey our way on over to that live virtual broadcast, the virtual Victory Lane booth here. We'll be there in just a few moments' time. Where'd they go? I'm missing them. There they are.
Oh, there he is.
There's the interview room. All right, Warren, I'm going to throw it down to you. I believe you caught up virtually with our race winner here tonight. Our co-commentator, Warren Johnson, caught up with our race winner, Nico Colby.
How we doing, Nico?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I was just talking to Sean that I think that was the best race we've ever broadcast together. Definitely the most exciting time I've had in the booth. And dude, it was looking grim for you there a couple times, spinning, and we didn't know who was going to win the race. And you managed to stay right up at the pack. You managed to get the win. What did it for you tonight?
Honestly, I tried to do some tire management. I think it kind of helped at the end. Not sure, but that helped a little bit.
Yeah, because we were talking about the tire management, and I was saying that I didn't think this track was all that hard on the tires, but maybe that is the case for the fast guys. But if that was the strategy, it definitely worked out. It kept you in the pack. You know, you dropped back a couple times because of some incidents, and then you're able to fight right back up to P1 at the end there. You know, thanks to the that action turn. Every move was happening at that turn. That was so cool to watch that. And yeah, see, we got a couple new racers there. What were you thinking about them? You're not used to racing these guys. There's kind of some new faces there. How'd that work out for you?
Yeah, they're good drivers. They're just like driving with anyone else. They're good, they're clean, and they're fun to race with.
Absolutely, yeah, and they're definitely a blast to watch. So I can't wait to see them again on Wednesday nights, and maybe they can join West Coast Sim Racing as well. We'd love to have them there. So congrats on your win tonight. Who would you like to thank, Nico?
You and Sean for broadcasting tonight.
Woohoo!
Mom, Dad, everyone that watches, everyone that races. Shout out Brendan and Jeffrey for running with us today. And yeah.
Absolutely. And then I also want to shout out Stone Colby. He had the birth of his son today.
Yeah, shout out Stone.
Absolutely. Congrats to the whole Colby family. They get another member to their amazing family. So congrats to him, and congrats to you, Nico, and your P1.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, Warren.
Damn.
Appreciate that, Nico. And I'm actually down here live in the top 3 interview room with a newer driver that we have here down here with on the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing Series, Jeffrey Erickson. Hey, this is Sean Stam live here down in Stam Studio Network, Victory Lane. You got yourself a coffee, man.
Hey, man. Great race. I enjoyed that a lot. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. More importantly, though, Jeffrey, how are you doing here, and how much are you sweating here after even only a 35-minute race?
A lot. That was pretty intense. I struggled a lot in the beginning. Just try to stay with the pack. I knew there's gonna be some crazy racing, and it started falling back. Just didn't really have the pace in the beginning, and then kind of got it all together after the caution. Started making up some spots. Definitely had some luck at the end, but we just fought through, and that's what I've done my whole racing career. Just never give up, no matter what, and I just love this kind of racing. And congrats Nico on the win. That was just a great race at the end. I definitely think we had some luck coming on the last lap, but just hanging with the pack. These cars are pretty easy to hang with the pack, and that definitely played a huge hand into it. And I got a high school exam tomorrow, and I don't think this is a great way to study, but hopefully I can get it passed tomorrow.
Awesome.
Oh man, Jeffrey, that's pretty well said. I got some college exams coming up as well, and I'm right there with you. It may not be the best way to study, but at least it might help us out there, at least as most as our future is concerned. Jeffrey, congratulations on your P2 finish tonight. Rocking and rolling, slicing, dicing. You're our biggest mover here tonight, gaining 8 spots as the drop of the green flag. Not only that, but I'm showing down here live and timing and scoring. You are our one and only driver outside of the United States. Showing you down here from outside of Lebanon. Is that true? And if so, I mean that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
Unfortunately not. I'm actually in Arizona, but I think that was a technical mishap when creating my account. But I'll have to check that out. But yeah.
Well, we'll get that one scared away. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, and thanks to you for putting on the show for the race fans here tonight. Congratulations on the P2 finish. Can't wait for some more races with you. As I think Warren Johnson, I believe, has caught up with our P3 finisher here tonight. It's going to be Brennan Myers, another newer name, and the driver of the #1 Mazda MX-5 sim racing machine.
How we doing, Brennan?
We're doing pretty great.
And congrats on your P3 tonight. Yeah, new name. Is this your first race with this league, or have you been here before?
No, it's my first league race ever, actually.
First league race ever. Well, welcome.
Gosh.
Well, welcome to the iRacing League, man. This is where the action's at, honestly. League races are just usually so much better than officials. So, yeah, well, what a race for you, man. We had some crazy action involving you the entire race. It seemed like we couldn't get your name out of our mouth. It was you had quite a few moves in that first chicane. Take us through what you were kind of thinking there, because that's not typically a place where I would want to make a move, or that you usually see moves being made.
For sure, it's definitely not your typical overtaken spot on the track. But going into it the first couple laps, I knew everybody else was going to go into it a little slow, knowing the car was a little heavier on fuel and colder tires. But once I started going on that inside line, I realized people were braking a little earlier. So I started to try to take advantage of being able to brake late on the inside line and try to avoid the sausage curves and take flight, basically.
Yeah, there was a couple guys that got their pilot's license tonight, I think, and on that specific chicane. And yeah, I mean, hey, you made it work for you. There was some contact a couple times, but obviously it worked out because I think all the drivers were involved or on the podium. So yeah, that was a crazy move going into there. There was a couple other spots that 90-degree right-hander. I can't remember the turn number, but towards the end of the lap. That was another action turn. We see you put a couple moves there and in the turn 1. So did you have a strategy going into today? Were you practicing this track? Did you know these were the places you wanted to make your move, or did it kind of just evolve throughout the race?
It kind of evolved throughout the race. I practiced it a little bit today for about 30 minutes or so when I had a little free time to see what was up, because I haven't driven the Mazda MX-5 car in months probably. So I had to kind of get back into the feel of that car again. But luckily for the safety car came out when I was back in P9, so it let me catch up to the pack a little bit. And From there, just kind of dodging and weaving through all the accidents.
Yeah, that safety car is definitely what brings a lot of action to these leagues, and I'm glad we've adopted it at West Coast, and these guys are kind of the ones that came up with that, and it totally makes the racing better. It brings life back into everyone's race, no matter what kind of happened. So but yeah, we're super glad to have you here at Apex. We hope you see you around more. Maybe check out West Coast, because we'd love to have that action over there from you as well. So congrats on your P3, and is there anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I appreciate you guys and Nico and Jeffrey. Good racing on their behalf, and appreciate you guys for hosting something like this for us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to send it back to Sean. It's been a great night of racing, and I will see you all next week.
Appreciate that, Warren. Appreciate that, Brennan. Have a great rest of your guys' night, and everybody that was watching in here live on Stam Studio Network, I sincerely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I think we're gonna pack up all the hardware here and start to get ready for some actual Apex Motor Club racing action here. It's now cool enough to do it. Finally, I'll be up there once again this weekend and next weekend for Oktoberfest and the season opener. Can't wait for it. Can't wait to meet Nico Colby and the rest of the gang up there as Nico Colby once again comes away with our race win. Rest of the official race results that are on your race screen. Thanks everybody for joining in here tonight on Sam Studio Network. I appreciate each and every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Cresting upwards of, well, we're past that 1,000 mark here, so continue to tell your neighbors, tell your dog, tell your cat, you can tell your cats as well here. Make an account for them as well as if needed here on Sam Studio Network and live on YouTube. Just about every single weeknight as well as about every single weekend. Thank you for Warren Johnson, one of the league owners as well as racers there at the West Coast Sim Racing League. He joined me up here in the booth tonight, co-commentate with me. That was a lot of fun to watch here for the West Coast Sim Racing League. We're gonna the Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. Now we're gonna cut to some real life racing for the Apex Motor Club here this weekend and next weekend. Thank you everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Drive those virtual cars home safe and fly those virtual flights home safe. I'll see you next time.